morning and welcome to BNC Africa. So today we're here at the Riviera Hotel in Vereeniging, where 80 women in fitness will be gathering under one roof to have a dialogue on the topic of my body, my business. The event is hosted by none other than the Department of Sports, Art and Culture. Now joining me now is sports journalist Mpumi Manyisi, who is the program director for today's event. Now Mpumi, tell me, what do you think about today's event?
Today's event is absolutely fantastic. I think the most part that I've enjoyed is that the breakaway sessions. So literally, we've divided ourselves into 4 groups. We have more about 80 women here, 80 or more, close to 100 women here. So we've divided ourselves into 4 groups, and we're just tackling different topics in relation to health, wellness, and fitness, and interesting factors that are coming out, interesting views that are coming out, and we're sort of learning about the dynamics within the fitness space, which is absolutely amazing.
Now, how do you think today's dialogue and webinar will benefit the women here today?
It will. I'll speak about myself. I am benefiting a lot because I'm literally learning from some of our fitness influencers and just teaching us about fitness and the fact that fitness is not about being thin. It's not about bashing out people who are bigger or whatever the case may be. It's just having just a good health plan that works for you. You know what I mean? And we're also learning about the role that the media is playing in terms of just pushing either positivity or negativity in relations to fitness, and the fact that how do we now, weigh things out and sort of consume content that works for us in terms of building our own personal fitness plans.
And also, how do you as Mpumi stay active on a daily basis?
That's an interesting question. I walk. I enjoy walking. I don't like running at all, but I enjoy walking a lot, and I enjoy hiking, and I try to eat right.
Now, speaking of eating right and eating healthy, what does your diet entail?
I eat a lot of fruits. I boil a lot of stuff. I eat a lot of vegetables, and I drink a lot of water. I enjoy juice a lot, and less of energy drinks. Yeah, I enjoy water, juice, vegetables, fruits, and I snack in between.
Thank you very much. That was sports journalist and today's program director, Mpumi Manyisi. So joining me now is the events coordinator at Riviera Hotel, Amanda. Now, Amanda, tell me, how do you feel about today's event?
Yeah, I think it's quite exciting that I've got so many ladies here that's interested in their health and into being fit and to celebrate COVID being finished and being out in the open. So it's just a pity we didn't have sunshine, but at least it's a nice, pleasant day to be outside. Yeah.
Now tell me, how do you stay active?
Me, I run up and down these stairs. So yeah, if you we always joke in the hotel industry that you're running a hotel. So yeah, I think that's how we all keep active, as we run from one side to the next. Yeah.
And coming to diet and food, are there specific certain foods that you eat to stay healthy?
Yeah, I try to eat my balanced food, so to stay away from takeaways and junk food like that, and then just try and eat your home cooked meals, because I think that's basically your healthiest food that you can eat. Yeah, and then also just to keep up with having a good breakfast every morning, and then to make sure that you eat your 3 regular meals a day. Yeah, and drink lots of water. So that's for me very important.
And lastly, Amanda, how vital do you think these kind of webinars are for women?
I think for women, especially for women's health, it's important for them to be aware of all the things that they need to pay attention to, because we often hear in media that prevention is better than cure. So if you can, be alert to certain things, then it's better to know what to look out for, and then at least people can stay healthy and active for a long time longer. And the thing is also, if you, even for younger girls, if they look after themselves while they're young, then they have so much easier when they get older, So yeah, so that's my opinion.
There was a Riviera Hotel events coordinator, it is Amanda. Thank you. Now joining me is the DDG from the Department of Sports, Art and Culture. DDG, how important was it for the department to host this webinar today?
Firstly, it's important for the department because, as the department, one of the things that we are doing this month is to celebrate the Women's Month. It's one of the responsibilities that is given to us in the Department of Women, Youth, and Persons with Disabilities. So we are implementing our programs. But being the Department of Sport, Arts, and Culture as well, this is a program through which we are sending a message. Key to that message is that we want to have a healthy nation. And we have realized that as much as we are promoting sport, it tends to be related to the department as if we are promoting sport as professional sport, whereas we are promoting that people must move. So we are just having open discussions as part of our general community conversations, as that is one of the programs that we are also leading as the department. But inherently in that, it's the discussion of cultural issues and their impact on how we relate to each other as society, but in particular in this Women's Month, focusing on the agenda that is focusing on women. And therefore, this is our best way of closing the Women's Month.
And what do you think about the standard of women's sport and fitness in the country?
We are seeing that there is a rising desire for women to participate in various sport codes, and that we are welcoming. We are seeing that the rate of progression to professional sport is not yet there, and that we are encouraging. We are seeing that even those that are already in professional sport, the rate of what would incentivize them to remain in those sport codes and to maintain their participation in those sports codes, if we're talking in terms of what women get paid in professional sport compared to what men get paid, those are things that we are putting on the table of discussions to say, let's talk equity. So for us as well, this is part of the program that is taking us at the forefront when we are discussing issues of transformation in general. But overall, we're saying let's transform ourselves from what we would like to leave behind to what we would like to move forward with. And for us, all of that, we're saying it starts with a healthy person, healthy family, healthy community, healthy society, and a healthy nation.
And lastly, DDG, what are some of the challenges that women say they're facing in sports and fitness, and how is the department assisting with coming up with solutions for those challenges?
Okay, I think the first one, especially when we are talking about development sport, there is always a cry that women don't find facilities in their communities that enable them to participate in these different sport codes. So, as the department working with the provincial departments and the municipalities, we have a program in place. For example, we would be partnering with the municipalities in terms of the municipal infrastructure grant, and we come with our own contribution towards making sure that there are some facilities. The other problem is access to, I'd say, sporting equipment. So that's one of the things that we are doing as the department, where we can, we identify communities and we provide some sport equipment. But in tandem with that, one of the things that we are looking into are the issues in terms of, I would say, going back to my last point, to my previous point, in terms of the stereotypes. When I am participating in sport as a woman, depending from community to community, but in rural communities, it's still there to say, is that the place of a woman? We are now bringing awareness to say the place of a woman is there, because before it is a career, it is a lifestyle that we want to promote. But the other thing that women speak about, because it touches them closely, it's the introduction of young ones in sporting activities. because women, they say this is seen to be our responsibility, and therefore, how are we assisted in this regard? We see a change in schools. Schools are no longer that active in sporting activities. And as the department, working with the Department of Education, that is one of the areas that we are focusing on to say, how do we bring sport back to our schooling environment?
That was the DDG from the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. I'm being joined by Dr. Goieieman. Doctor, what do you think about today's webinar?
I think this is wonderful. I really am so impressed. Firstly, kudos to the team. The energy here is just out of this world. I wouldn't be anywhere else. I'm so blessed to be part of this whole campaign. I've been I choose to be active for quite a while now. I've done a few sessions with them. But I think this one for me still stands out as the greatest one that I've attended. So I think the whole program lineup is fantastic. I think the fact that the participants are so keen, they are really interactive. They are taking to the topics, because I think also the choice of the topics is also quite brilliant. They're relevant. Because I think quite often we have these Women's Day events and they don't really sort of bring home the message as to what exactly it is we're trying to achieve. So I think with this one, it's talking to wellness, wellness not only about going to exercise programs so that you look fit and beautiful, but talking about a holistic approach to wellness. We talk about yes, there's a problem with obesity, but there are also other issues, that affect women directly on a daily basis that we're talking about. It's just a dialogue. And I think there's the different types of women that are also in the program from all walks of life. So we're getting different perspectives from different women based on their experiences. And they're quite open and they're quite willing to share their experiences. So, and us as panelists and facilitators are also enjoying it because we're also learning quite a lot. So it's been fantastic.
And what role were you playing in today's dialogue as a facilitator and as a doctor? And what advice were you giving to these women who are here today?
So in our session, we talked about obesity and mental health. So we just talked about, unpacking what exactly obesity is. Because I think there's firstly, a misunderstanding about what it is. So we just explained the differences between being obese and being overweight. And then we talked about what are the underlying reasons, we talked about issues around self-love, around the fact that we comfort eat because we're stressed as women, the fact that we give and give all the time and we're expected to be these pillars of strength for everyone, and we don't take care of ourselves like we should. So a lot of us talked about, the underlying issues that we don't talk about, how we also talked about how sometimes our cultures and the relationships we find ourselves in don't allow us to speak freely about how we feel. We don't express our emotions to our partners. We are not in safe spaces where we can just let out, and so often we tend to look for sort of outlets in other places. So often it will be alcohol, or it will be food, and we don't take care of our bodies, and we don't see our bodies as needing to be taken care of because we're so busy caring for others as women. So the session was very informative, and my role was basically to just sort of incorporate the medical side of it, but also to make it more practical for them to understand it. Managing obesity and preventing it is actually possible, because sometimes we think, I must go to the gym, I can't afford the gym fees, I can't afford the techies, I can't afford the outfit, the whole kit. So we tend to have misconceptions about what fitness is all about, and choosing to be active is not about saying go to the gym. We don't have time, we don't have resources. So mine was to just bring it home and say it is about your everyday life. Instead of opening the TV to watch soapies non-stop, you could take a walk down the street. You could actually do gardening, you could clean your house, there are so many possibilities, and none of them involve money. And often we tend to Siokoboza next door instead of taking that next door neighbor and saying, let's take a walk, up and down the street 4 or 5 times around the block. That's physical exercise. So mine was just to dispel myths, and to also just help them to empower themselves, give knowledge. Because what I found in most of our discussions was that because people are not knowledgeable about things, they feel they don't have power to change their situations. So we were imparting knowledge to say, this is about power, and you need to take it back because you've always had it. It's just that you are not affirmed. And we also had some activists in our group who were quite vocal, and I like the fact that they were there to say, I was rock bottom once, but look where I am now. And it's only because my mindset changed. So we had a lot of conversations around the power of the mind in overcoming challenges as women. So it was really, really, really a very fruitful session that we had.
And lastly, Doctor, how would you say today's dialogue benefited the women who are here today?
From their testimonies, I can tell you that they learned a lot from each other. They appreciated being here because a lot of them were saying that they've attended women's events before. But from this one, they all felt that there was something they could take back home and say, I now know better and I'm going to do better, you know. So they felt empowered. They were grateful. They actually expressed this. They were grateful that they could be here. They also were grateful that we made time to be here, and they were grateful for the organizers for putting this together. So I think in essence, there was a lot of gratitude and appreciation for this opportunity for them to be here, because they could have chosen other 80 women and not them, you know. But the fact that they were the 80 who were here was for them very special. And for us as well as facilitators, I'll speak for myself and say, I was very privileged to have been part of that session. And in as much as they feel that they were touched, I personally was very touched. And I learned a lot as well. And also what came out in our group was the importance of, when we talk about women's issues, we shouldn't forget about the LGBTIQ group, especially lesbian women, because we do tend to not include them in our conversations. So that came out quite strongly as well, to say, moving forward, you know, if there's anything that needs to be changed about these Women's Day events, is that we not only should focus on that community, but we also need to look at spirituality, because we tend to think that wellness is just about physical fitness, but wellness is about a holistic approach to wellness. It's about mental health. It's about making sure that spiritually you are well. And then that manifests in a physical, well-looking person. And a physical, well-looking person is not a thin person necessarily, which is one of the myths that we think when we see thin people, we think they're healthy. But there are a lot of people who are fuller-bodied, but they are living exciting lives. They are vibrant, they are energetic, they are healthy, they fit. And there's a lot to learn from this opportunity and this campaign. So I think it's been a fantastic campaign, and I think at the end of the day it's going to achieve what it meant to do, and that is to make women choose to be active.
Thank you very much, Doctor. It was all about tackling obesity. Palesa, Malebo, BNC Africa, Vereeniging. So today it's everything women in fitness, everything physical activity. And right now I'm joined by one of the radio personalities from KCA Radio by the name of Connie. Now, Connie, tell me, what do you do on a daily basis to stay active as a woman?
I'm very one active person. I know I look really huge, but you've seen me dancing in studio. You've seen me jumping around. I'm one very active person. I don't go to the gym, but I normally do have my random works. You know, the 2 km walk. Sometimes I do play skipping with my kids. You know, I'm not a gym fanatic. I don't like gym. But sometimes I do try to keep healthy, especially with me being big boned, because people have a perspective that I'm not healthy. So every day I try to keep up with a healthy lifestyle. I do try to eat the right. I do try to have the exercises here and then, just to avoid that thing when we are fat and we cannot do anything. Now, if you can put a skinny chick more pelaga and say do 1, 2, and 3, and 4 with her, I think I'd come number one. That's how proud I am with my body and how I am taking care of it, basically.
And what's your, opinion when it comes to people who are more into body shaming women?
Yo, body shamers, I hate them so much. And I'm a plus size activist. I'm a body positivity activist. We are built in different shapes. Like, I feel if we were born the same, like, because nobody would have had a different shape than yours. So body shamers, I hate them. Okay, hate is a big word. I don't like them. What they're not seeing is it's also affecting the younger generation, because you get kids being body shamed, whether it's at school or at home. Hey, when I call you Studla, like, you're very young and already he's calling you Studla. That's body shaming. Rather than you uncover, like, make me feel beautiful. You already body shaming me, and I'm growing up with that stigma. I'm fat or I'm skinnier than the other kids. Because body shaming, it does not only affect it goes to skinny people also. We get body shamed every day, and rather than you calling a person by their true name, or name her by the shape of their body, so that's totally wrong.
Now, you're a radio personality, but also you're an influencer. What are you doing to empower full-figured women?
Ooh, if you can check on social media, I'm Connected Mofogeng. I host the plus size events. You name it. The events are us having fun. The pool parties, we host the gala dinners. Sometimes we do host the boot camp. And that's basically where us as plus size women feel at home, because only more nobody's gonna judge you. Nobody's gonna be checking out your body or nah, yours is bigger than what. Like, we're all the same, we're all in the same space, and we're all giving each other the same energy. So that's basically where we get together and reahan about our bodies. And then we always advise people to check for obesity, because I heard some doctor saying, if you touch your tummy and then you feel over here, it's like you're having a break. It means that you are obese. But if utasham kabahawa and then humanati, you are not obese. So the society also plays a big role in that, because they get to can you judge us by just looking at our bodies and sabari diagnose us without even having the facts right. Nah, I'm fat, but I'm very much healthy. I cannot any chronic disease. I'm very much healthy.
Thank you very much. There was Connie Mofogeng, radio personality as well as influencer. I'm joined by Dee, a radio personality from KCA Radio, and today's event is all about the women in fitness. It's all about physical activity. It's all about healthy lifestyle. Now, Dee, I want to find out from you, what do you do on a daily basis to stay active?
I walk. I walk a lot. Like, I think I'm the only person in the house that walks as much as I do. I do between a 3 and a 5 kilometer walk almost every day. And I enjoy walking. Like, I've got those on 10 I hold Kopo police station, no stress. So that's what I do, because hey, Jimmy included it. Like, I don't want to lie, I joined 2 gyms and I was paying for my hala because I was hardly ever at the gym. But I actually prefer walking. It works for me. That's what I do.
And what are some of the benefits you've reaped of walking?
I guess it keeps me fit to a certain extent. It gives me stamina to a certain extent as well. And also, okay, I did lose a couple of kilos when I needed to lose a couple of kilos, but also it kind of just keeps my body intact.
And now coming to diet, is there a specific diet that you follow as far as eating health is concerned?
Dude, we work together. You know I'm the eatist in that company, so you know me. I don't have a specific diet, but what I do is I eat in moderation. I don't like eat a lot of things. Pizza, fries, no. Like, I try and balance it out. If I'm gonna be eating junk food at work during lunchtime, I want my home cooked meal to have a couple of veggies. I'm not big on veggies myself, but the ones that I do eat, I want them in my plate. So I try and balance it out with some healthy choices at the same time.
So for Dee, it's all about eating in moderation, and of course walking. So that was Dee from KCA Radio.